Hello everyone and welcome to the Geeky Investor, where stocks talk and we translate. Today's episode is going to be all about Nvidia and its expected earnings call after tomorrow on Wednesday after the market closes. So before we dive into this episode, I'd like to show you Nvidia's share price over the last period. As we can see here, over the last month, Nvidia's share price has been almost flat. However, if you look at the past 6 months or year to date, you see a different picture where the stock price has increased to $186, around 35% increase as of November 2025, which is a significant increase. Now, as we all know, Nvidia is the top 10 is the top company as a part of the valuation in the stock market. We can see that it has reached 4.5 trillion US dollars. At one point, actually, it reached around $5 trillion. Then we can see Apple, Microsoft, Google, Alphabet, Amazon, and Saudi's Aramco. Now, what we know is Nvidia's earnings call, the expectations are extremely high, which puts a lot of pressure on the company when it comes to announcing their earnings call. As we can see, Wells Fargo, a very well-known bank, so we all know Wells Fargo, they have, before the earnings call, they have increased their expected or their target share price of Nvidia to reach $220. As of right now, it is sitting at $186, so they expect this to increase to $220. Usually their expectations is within 12 months period. As we can also see, they have increased actually their share price target from 220 previously all the way to 265, which signifies that they expect Nvidia's stock to increase significantly from here based on explosive data center growth fueled by AI infrastructure. Now, what they expect for the earnings and the revenue is also driven by that. So if we can see here on stock analysis, we see Nvidia's stock. This is the revenue, and then we see 2022, 23, 24, and all the way to this year. We can see that the revenue has been increasing 26 billion, 60 billion, and then 130 billion at the beginning of 2025. And the trailing 12 months, we can see that it's reaching $165 billion within the past 11 months, or within the past 9 months. So that shows that Nvidia is earning a lot of money. This is the revenue, of course. Then there is the expenses, and then goes into the earnings. But we can see that Wells Fargo expects Nvidia's revenue to climb to $209 billion in 2026, and then 300 billion, and then all the way to 380 billion by 2028. Excuse me for that. So we see here that the revenue is right now 165 billion. So for it to reach 380 billion means that this is more than doubling of its revenue, which means that the share price, if the share price right now is reflective of the actual stock, of the actual performance of the company, then maybe the share price could double within 3 years if it goes with these expectations. Citi, which is another bank, has also raised its expectations to $720, which is mind-blowing. If you guys just think about this, this number here, 720 share price, this is so massive that this means that the company, Nvidia, would be expected to grow its market cap by around 4 times, which puts the market cap around 15 to 20 trillion US dollars, which is mind-blowing. In my opinion, I don't think this is accurate. I don't think this is going to happen. Maybe someday, maybe we're going to see, but I don't think this is going to happen within 24 months whatsoever. They have not actually specified when they expect this share price to be hit. They are saying it's kind of like a long term, but for me, it doesn't make sense as of right now. Maybe later on we would see something similar. So Citi raises Nvidia's price target to 720 ahead of earnings call, but in this report they do not really tell when they expect this price target to be hit. Now, moving on, another bank, which is SoftBank. We know SoftBank is a Japanese company. So here what they say is SoftBank sold its entire 32 million shares of Nvidia with an expected $5.8 billion, marking the second time the firm has exited the AI chip maker Nvidia. So basically what SoftBank has done is that they have sold all of their shares within Nvidia. Now, one would say maybe this is a bear signal, and this signifies that maybe they are losing trust in Nvidia because of competitors, because of share price increasing significantly. However, what they say is this should not be seen, in our view, as a cautious or negative stance on Nvidia, but rather in the context of SoftBank needing at least 30 billion capital for investments within Q4, including 22 billion in OpenAI, which is ChatGPT's company, and Ampere. So this is their thinking. So they said they sold their shares of Nvidia just because they really needed the money. It's not like they lost trust of Nvidia. Now, moving on to AMD, we remember from AMD back at the beginning of November, in November 4th, so I'm going to show the highlighter here. In November 4th, AMD showed its Q3 earnings call, which was really a strong quarter, if you guys have shown that. But unfortunately, what everybody was thinking is that the share price would significantly increase after that because they had a very good quarter. But what happened is it was the exact opposite. As you can see here, the share price actually declined the following days after the issuance or the reporting of their earnings call. Because what happened was, in this AI hyper cycle, investors are demanding more than just strong earnings call. They kind of expected, I don't know, like mind-blowing or something, but that's what happened. Now, if you focus on the short term and you want to buy Nvidia before the coming earnings call, maybe this wouldn't make so much sense because, even if we expect the earnings call to show good results and promising events in the future. However, maybe the share price would not be reflective of that because people would be maybe over expecting, and maybe the expected improvements are already built and cooked within the share price. So this is going to be very worrisome if you invest for a short period of time. So what I would say as a key lesson here is that short-term markets are irrational. Maybe it doesn't make sense. And if you see here on AMD, the share price decreased, but then just a couple of days after that, the share price kind of stabilized and it reached back to that level. So focus on fundamentals, not emotional knee-jerk reactions. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.